Well, I study a lot of things. I mean, one of the things I also study is strength use. And I think if I was to tell lay people about this research, one of the things in the science of well-being right now is the idea of let's focus not on what your weaknesses are, but what your strengths are, or focus on what are you good at, what excites you. I would flesh it out a little bit. It's a little bit limiting to say, well, what are you good at? Because to me, a strength has three parts. So, and I think this has kind of gotten lost in the discussion of let's focus on what's good as opposed to what's bad. The three parts are, what are the things that when you do them, you perform exceptionally? Now, the first thing people think about is school and work. But think also about your relationships. What draws people into you? What makes you an attractive person to people? Is it your listening skills? Is it that you ask good questions? Is it that you bring up provocative conversations and everyone's intrigued and mystified of what direction it's going? Do you skip the rungs of intimacy and you talk about things where there's no segue? Like what's the thing that you're good at where the performance is intimacy, laughter, social support, or just closeness in general. That's one part. The performance is high. The second is a strength is something that you use regularly. The third thing is that you're energized by this. So you might be really empathetic. You might be really good at understanding other people, but it trains you. You get tired of listening to other people. It's not something you enjoy, but people give you feedback all the time that you're good at. So for me, it's what are the things you do that you perform well at? What are you doing regularly? And then what's energizing? But the energizing piece is what people forget. If you're amazing at math and people want you to do their taxes for them and people want you to do their math assignments for them and people want you to calculate, what's their mortgage rates for them or whatever it is, but if it's not energizing to you, that's not a strength then. I would call that a learned behavior. You're exceptional in terms of performance. You might use it, but it's actually de-energizing to it that way. So if you think about strengths with that more broadened perspective, you can get a better handle in terms of what are the things that I can capitalize on to make inroads towards the things I care about, the goals that are meaningful to me, the relationships that are important to me, and then also the pieces of work and the leisure that really kind of charges me up and that I have the potential to be great at.